Hello and welcome to Something for the Weekend with me, Kathie Griffiths.
Me, Fiona Scott.
Me, Ellis Butcher.
And me, Martin Stewart.
Oh, see, he's so keen. He couldn't wait to be introduced. Don't we have Martin Stewart with us today because Stevie Day's away on his jollies again.
He gets too many holidays.
Welcome back, Martin.
It's good to be here.
Oh, and you meant it. We could tell it in the depth of your voice.
Oh, yes.
There we go. So, people, it's the weekend. Hurrah, hurrah. 3 cheers for the weekend. How excited are we?
Mega, because it's not just a weekend for me. It's a whole week.
A whole week. Where are you going? What are you doing? Can we come with you?
I was going to say, did I tell you all I was going on holiday at all? I'm going down to Comrie for a few days. That's near Creeth in Perthshire. And then I'm going to come back up around Arnamarkin and stay at Kilcoen for a couple of days. So.
Oh, that sounds so lovely. Can you nip across to Mull from Kilhowen?
Yes, you can.
You're going to do it? You're going to go?
No, probably not, because I can really go to Mull anytime I want from this end.
True.
So I wondered why I'd be doing it from that end.
I don't know, change of scenery, different direction.
You must elaborate on these plans, though. You're not just driving around, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm so excited because my family from the borders is coming up to Comrie. We've all got lodges, and this is the first time all I met up since the beginning of April. And we've got a new edition as well since then. So
Is that a human edition?
It's a human edition. There's a few dogs going as well, might I add. Yeah, we've got baby Finn. And, and
How old is he?
Oh gosh, he'll only be about 3 months.
Oh, bless. You're not planning on getting any sleep then?
He's not in my lodge. We're being very sensible about this. We're staying in our own lodges and we'll follow guidelines and only meet up 8 at a time because I think there's 17 altogether, including the wee ones. But we've got it all organised. We've got loads of games that we can do distancing, but still all see one another and watch the kids. And of course, all the kids can play together now because they're allowed.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful. Have a fantastic time. Is there hot tubs as well? Have you got your individual hot tubs?
There is hot tubs, yeah. That was a plan as well. We're going to all sit in our own hot tubs and wave to one another. Then.
Actually, I haven't got much lined up this weekend, Fiona. Have you?
No, Ellis.
Stow away.
I've seen the boot of your Sportage. I'm sure I could fit in there.
If you could see the boot of my Sportage this morning, there would be no room. It's
no chance, Ellis.
It's like the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, how wonderful. You can have a great time.
Follow that.
Well, I'll follow that because I had a bit of a nasty experience earlier this week.
Ooh.
Something that was lurking in the deep.
Alice? You've been stalking Kathie again. We have told you about that.
No, I'll tell you what it was. I know. I went swimming, and luckily I was with my pal Jeanette and my youngest daughter Millie, who was actually on a paddle board, supposed to be on guard and lookout, supposed to be on jellyfish lookout. Anyway, I was swimming away, and it was just beautiful evening, quite balmy. The water was gorgeous, and I was looking ahead, looking out to the islands, when my arm brushed into something jellified and quite huge. And it was too late because when I looked to see what it was, there was this massive blob of red jelly. And when I say massive, it was huge and just blobby and foul and disgusting and fishy and jellyish. Anyway, there it was. And straight away, I felt the tingling all the way down the arm. And it was a bit yucky, really. But I was very brave. And we sort of swam back to the shore. But you know what? It's the most, I've never actually been stung properly like that before. I've had a few little tingles and that kind of thing from creatures, but this was like a full-on sting, and it was just the weirdest. It was like if you can imagine a really bad nettle sort of sting, but it was like burning and searing. And I sort of took an antihistamine because you're not. Some people say you're supposed to wee on it, well, you're not. Apparently, it's like fresh water you need to put on it. Hot, keep it under a hot shower for about 20, 30 minutes. Take an antihistamine. If you can see little barbs and things still sticking out, tweezer them out. Well, there was nothing like that. It was really weird, but the pain was really odd. But it didn't stop there, because for the next 24 hours, I felt like a voodoo doll, because it was as if somebody was just like, there was no pattern to it. It was as if someone had like a needle, like a really sharp needle, and they were just like pricking all over. And it was just like, there was no pattern.
That was actually me and my Kathie voodoo doll, actually. I've got to confess.
But you know what? It was really weird, and you just didn't know where it was going to happen next. And that was like 24 hours. However, because I thought it's a bit like falling off a horse or something. Not that I've fallen off a horse, but you have to get back to it. So I was back in the sea yesterday, swimming, a little bit sort of cautious, looking out for red blobs, but I didn't see any. It was more of the moon jellies, the translucent ones with the pretty purple rings in them. So it's all right. So I'm back in the water, and I'm being brave, and that's it. But I'm going to have to just think about, do I wear a rash vest? Do I, because there seems to be quite a lot of jellies around at the moment, so... But it is their territory, it is their land, it is their world. I am the intruder. In fact, I'm the alien. I am an alien in it, aren't I suppose? So.
Their water, I suppose.
Yeah.
Martin's a bit of an outdoors man. Have you ever encountered any strange creatures while you've been out?
Well, I wouldn't say a strange creature. I was out in the canoe last week.
It wasn't me, was it?
Oh, no. I was out in the canoe last week. I actually got followed home by a seal. It just stalked me. I had the GoPro filming at the time, and I was just paddling back, and it must have been following me for about half an hour, and I didn't realise. And then I noticed it, and it followed me all the way back, basically to where I'd put the canoe in the whole time. It was really quite pleasant. I quite like seals. Kind of like
I was going to say,
dogs.
I can think of worse things to be stalked by, Martin. That's
Yes, certainly, yes.
My friend got photobombed by a seal.
Oh, cool.
She was in a kayak, and I think she was on the Sound of Seal somewhere. And she thought, I'm going to take a picture of myself in my kayak. And as she took a picture, this thing sort of just appeared behind her. It was a seal, photobombing seal, you see. So they're quite sort of curious creatures, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this one was maybe staying about 30 or 40 yards away from the canoe at the time. But at one point, it must have surfaced right behind the canoe. It made a huge splash, and I have to admit, I did worry for a little second what it was. But it was only when I looked back at the footage afterwards I could see that it was this seal. But it was really, really close. It obviously must have been very curious.
What would be your explanation for that, do you think? Do you think it anticipates being fed or something? Or?
Sardine sandwiches.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think they seem to be more keen to follow boats when they don't make a lot of noise, like paddlecraft, like canoes, kayaks, that kind of thing. But they're not as keen to hang around motorised craft.
Perhaps
I've had a dolphin come up when
curiosity.
I was out the skiff, at Seal, when I've been in the skiff, and we had a dolphin come and sort of play, it was going under the boat and bobbing up sort of around the boat. That was quite something. I didn't have any tuna sandwiches or anything with me at the time, though. Do they eat tuna? What do dolphins eat? Do they eat tuna?
They'll eat fish, won't they? They have to.
Yeah.
They're not on chips or anything.
I don't think they eat tuna. I think tuna are a little bit big for them, to be honest. They don't get out of a can.
That's all. I'm getting hungry again. I'm always hungry when we do our Friday podcast. Always hungry.
If the Scottish Protection for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals might be listening to this podcast, we'd just like to clear up that dolphins do not eat tuna sandwiches.
Or chips.
Or chips. Oh, dear. Come on then, Alice. What are you up to this weekend? You must be doing something, surely.
I should be considering the world. No, what I have really enjoyed in this last week, actually, it's not this weekend, but this last week, I love going out and meeting up with everybody in a certain cafe in Auburn. I think Kathie brought about 15 people up, didn't you? Was it about 15?
No, don't you'll get me into trouble with the COVID police. No, we stuck to numbers, but it was lovely, wasn't it?
There was 6 of us, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And
maybe 7.
That was maybe 7. That was lovely. It was really nice, kind of go to get a coffee somewhere with other people. It was quite liberating. And I also went out for a couple of non-alcoholic drinks and watched the football game in a pub.
Sure you did, Ellis.
I did. Oh, completely.
Non-alcoholic.
I was on lemonade. all the way through it for 5 hours.
I know who you went with, so I can check on you.
You do know who I went with. And I met a couple of really good guys, and it was great being in the pub again. All right, you have to sign in and you have to go through the process and respect the process. But it was so good. It was just liberating just to be able to socialise and go out again and kind of for life to feel a bit more normal. And then I've finally had my hair cut too. After
so you've got a crew cut.
Growth. I'm like a Trappist monk now. But again, it's normal life coming back, and there's a lot to be said for it. Technology is brilliant, but there's nothing like being out there with people.
No, you're right. It's that sort of it's the company, isn't it? And yeah, we all just need each other, don't we? Everyone. Well. Tell me you need me. I need to be needed. Oh dear. So Martin, what are you doing this weekend? Are you going back out in your kayak?
Yep, I certainly will be. Yep. I'm going to throw a rucksack in the back along with the fishing rod, and I'm going to go and practice some extreme social distancing and see where I end up.
It's going to catch some tuna in a John Weston.
So what type of fish? What will you be looking for? Is it trout and salmon?
I don't know. I never actually catch anything, to be honest. So I just like sitting there and not having to do anything.
You see, I've never. My brother fishes, and I just don't get it. I don't get fishing. Ellis, you were going to try it, weren't you?
You were going to go magnet fishing.
I was going to go magnet fishing, wasn't I?
Do it.
I've got to do it. I've got to get out there.
You'll definitely catch a John West tin of tuna with that, then.
Yeah, I need to get my so to speak, my tackle sorted out first before I get out there.
Oh dear. Well, talking of sorting something out, you know what we could all do, but not Fiona because she's going on holiday, but she can still do it wherever she is at the holiday place. But we need to start looking around us, and I'm sure none of us would drop any litter and be selfish to do that. But if you see litter and you've got a bag with you and you've got something like gloves or something, let's just start looking after our town people, please, because there's an awful lot of litter around. And bin it, pick it up, take it home if it's safe to do so. But let's just appreciate this gorgeous place where we live and look after it.
Yeah, while you're on that, Ewan Roberts and his wife Lindsay that started up We Walk Oban. It's a website you can go to and you can find out all lovely places to go and walk around the area. They're doing a challenge a month at the moment, and July's challenge is to pick up the litter as you go your walk. So they've both been doing it along with their dog. What was
the dog been picking litter up?
Yeah, it was sitting there with its bags of rubbish and his little litter pick. So yeah.
I was out yesterday with some litter pickers from Keep Oban Beautiful. We were sort of strolling along the front at Gallanack, which is so lovely, overlooking Kerrera. And they soon had their yellow sacks full of litter. But guess what? Just try and think of an item that they found, or two items that they found.
Tin of tuna and a jellyfish.
You're not far off when you say fish. Shall I tell you what it was?
Chips.
No. A fish slice. Like kitchen utensil, a fish slice, and then in a different spot, a frying pan.
That's somebody having a barbecue, isn't it?
Yeah, and they've just left the stuff. And there's loads of other bits and pieces, disposable masks.
People that do that.
Stuff. I know. Just they couldn't be bothered to take it home and wash it. That's what it is. They just thought it's a cheap frying pan. Let's just leave it. Can't be bothered. Can't be bothered to take it home.
I remember going to a big music. I remember going to a big music festival, and on the final day, I just could not believe the amount of junk that people just abandoned, that left behind, from chairs to tent. I know apparently this is the thing, but you don't take it home for whatever reason. I'll never get my head around that. Why you can't just pack it up in the car and take it. Talk about a disposable culture. Take it home with you. Stick it in the boot. Don't leave it for somebody else. Sorry.
Did you ever go scavenging because we used to love it. At the end of the festivals, we were always like some of the last to go, and that's because we were hanging on to the end, so we could go around the festival, the campsite. We got loads of stuff. We got absolutely loads of stuff. Really good sort of, those camping chairs in good nick. Loads of those. sometimes you had to be careful about the tents because they weren't always empty, if you know what I mean. Certain things in corners and stuff, so we left them.
Oh. Ooh.
I'm not going to go into detail, but it's a bit stinky, a bit smelly.
Oh, no.
However, I did get a portable toilet once that someone had left, like a bucket sit-on one that was really, you could pay about £30 for them. So we moved it. We sort of washed it out with the tent, and then we put it in, we double bagged it, and I took it home.
You took somebody else's toilet?
In the back of my camper van, yeah. Lasted years. It lasted years. Confession time. But you know, these things cost money, but people just discard them, and that's such a shame. However, it was rich pickings for others.
Martin, when you're out and about in the wilds, do you see a lot of litter?
Yeah, certainly. There's always litter lying around. It's just, like you say, it's just that disposable culture. People turn up, bring their barbecue kit, they bring their cheap tents, and they'll just leave them. I don't understand why, because generally it's places that are so accessible, you know, right next to a lay-by or, you know, next to an easy camp spot. You know, they could quite easily pick the stuff up, throw it in a bag, put it in the back of their car and take it home. There's just no excuse for it, really.
There's almost this, I think they obviously must have this kind of belief system that they think that there's some, you know, litter fairy that comes along and whatever they leave behind, someone else will take responsibility for.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And that's, I don't understand that because that's not real. There isn't a litter fairy. It will stay there. It will harm wildlife. It will make the place look a mess. I'm sorry I'm on my high horse about this, but I just think this is such, I don't need to say it, do I, what a wonderful area this is. And for people just to rock up and leave, you know, half of, you know, the gear from trespass behind, I just can't get my head around it.
I think it's more noticeable in a rural area like this where we don't have the big infrastructure who will follow people around and clean up after them. So when people leave things here, it's far more noticeable.
Whereas perhaps if you lived in a city and they have these sort of patrolling, you know, kind of little sweepers and things, where it's just, you know, it's dropped and then it's picked up within an hour or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to keep trying and get the message out there. I know I've been working on the Lochaber Times the last few weeks, and I've done a wee story. There was a group started up there called Tack It Hame.
Called what? Say again.
Tack It Hame.
Oh, Tack It Hey, I've got it.
Tack It Hame. So they're pushing and campaigning just to get more signs up, more bins, you know, get the council to do their bit, and then hopefully other people with a few reminders will start doing their bit.
Have you seen those "Don't Be a Tosser" signs?
I think I saw that because I think
I've always ignored them.
Ellis. Yeah, because I think we're the community council not looking at them, but obviously they were going to take out the "Don't Be a Tosser" bit.
Well, why should they? Because we know what it means.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's eye-catching, and it might just, you know, get people to understand that they are being TOSSERS.
Yeah.
If they chuck their rubbish. So don't do it, folks. Don't do it. Let's have a lovely, clean living, gorgeous weekend. And with that, that's it for this week, I think, unless anyone else has got any exciting activities they want to share, or they maybe don't want to share.
Have I told you I'm going on holiday?
Yes, you have. Right, that's it, folks. We're going to go now. Fiona's got a long journey, and she can't wait to start cracking into all them snacks she's got in the car. Her and Malcolm and Tiggy the dog. Wonderful. A few dog chews in there. So, folks, we're always happy here at the Oban Times to hear from you. Get in touch with us, share your stories, send us in your photos. You can get in touch with us by calling 01631 568 000. You can email us for this podcast at somethingfortheweekend@obantimes.co.uk, or you can message us on Facebook. You can pick up copies of your Oban Times from supermarkets, petrol stations and newsagents. You can also read all our stories free online while COVID is still going on. And of course, you can subscribe for 3 months for just £4.80 to our full page-turning digital edition. So that's it from us, folks. Goodbye from me, Kathie Griffiths.
Bye from me, Fiona Scott, who's going on holiday.
Take your litter home like Ellis Butcher.
And goodbye from me, Martin Stewart.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Do you want to hear about my holiday?
Yeah.